This video is brought to you by 3, bringing you 4G at no extra cost.
Hey guys, welcome to BTech. It's Basil here with a Samsung Galaxy Alpha and an iPhone 5S. The Galaxy Alpha, new from Samsung, octa-core processor, 2GB of RAM, Cat 6 LTE, 32GB internal memory, is an impressive phone considering it's 4.7 inches. Normally it's the big phones that get those kinds of specs. The iPhone's going to drop in price very soon given the fact the new one's coming out, and the Alpha, we're expecting it to come in at a price that's a lot cheaper than the upcoming new flagship iPhone. So they'll probably be priced relatively similarly. That's speculation though. What can we tell you for sure? That's how they stack up against one another. You can see on the right hand side of the Galaxy Alpha you've got power button. The metal frame really does have some nice elegant nuances, like that little groove in there, and it's on the other side too where your thumb can very easily nuzzle into. Down at the base is a loudspeaker and a micro USB connector. The loudspeaker and micro USB connector are in the same, or charging connector are in the same place on both phones, and indeed both phones suffer from the same issue. You put your thumb over the loudspeaker and you cover it up completely. It's a little bit worse on the Galaxy Alpha as you can completely muffle that sound. On the left hand side you've got a volume rocker, up at the top is that 3.5mm jack, and on the flip side heart rate monitor, 12 megapixel rear facing camera, and a very rich feeling backing that is removable. We can prise it open to reveal a removable battery. No removable SD card slot because this has 32GB of memory, and you do have a nano SIM slot in there. So we can close that up, make sure it's all clipped into place, and put that down to one side and take a look at the iPhone. Like we said, 4-inch display, fingerprint scanner at the base. You've also got a front-facing camera, nano SIM card slot to the right. Base is a lightning connector and speaker and headphone jack like we said. You've got a toggle and volume buttons, and up top is that power button you can see. On the flip side, 8 megapixel rear facing camera and true tone flash, one warm, one cool for great white balance when the flash fires. Different screens as well, different screen technologies to kick off with, and that's AMOLED versus LCD. Swiping across you can see the LCD looks decent and very sharp, and it's definitely sharper than the AMOLED screen on the Galaxy Alpha, but the Galaxy Alpha's screen pops more. Vibrant colors make user interfaces look very, very nice. Having said that, for an LCD screen, the iPhone 5S is one of the best out there, and it is very, very bright and vibrant. The user interface is also totally different, Android versus iOS. Android, and it's specifically TouchWiz, which is Samsung's take on Android. This includes My Magazine user interface to the left, which is a news aggregator, which by the way we're not too fond of, but you can turn that off. You've also got a range of home screens you can pinch out to get an overview and add or remove home screens. Pull down, you've got an notifications tray, along with quick toggles. Pull down with 2 fingers to access all those quick toggles, and the applications tray is scrolling horizontally like so, just like the iPhone. If we check out the iPhone, we can see a pull down bar as well as up at the top, but it's not quite as versatile as that on Android. Swipe up from the bottom and you can control some quick settings like brightness, etc. Again, these aren't so great when you want to do things like quickly go into your Bluetooth settings. For that, you will have to jump into the actual settings option. If you pull down the home screen, you can search your iPhone, and there are a few other elements to the user interface, but they are really the key ones. How do the two compare? Well, iOS is a little bit simpler. iOS can do, well, pretty much everything you want through applications and settings. Android, you can throw widgets on the screen that actually live update, and it's a little bit more versatile, even if it may take you a little longer to get your head around it. Application support is very good across both. They are the two leading platforms right now, so fear not, likelihood is your application will be supported on here. Hardware-wise, you've got an Exynos 5 chipset in the Samsung Galaxy Alpha, and that's a 1.8GB and 1.3 gigahertz chipset, both quad-core, making for one octa-core processor. In addition, like we said, Cat 6 LTE, 2GB of RAM. You've got an Apple A7 chip in the Apple iPhone 5S. That's 1GB of RAM, but iOS is incredibly efficient, more so than Android, and so it's optimized very nicely, making the user interface actually run smoother on an iPhone than we'd expect it to on the Galaxy Alpha a few months down the line. Internet speeds will be much faster on the Samsung Galaxy Alpha though, so, and the bigger screen might be better for gaming. The 32 gig onboard memory comes as standard, whereas the iPhone's available in 16, 32 or 64 gigabyte variants, and the larger capacity will be significantly more expensive than the Samsung Galaxy Alpha, non-expandable either device. So that's been a quick comparison between the Samsung Galaxy Alpha and the iPhone 5S. If you've got any questions about either of the devices, fire them in the comments section below. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching.